That includes the three of us and my mother, my father.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it does. Hey, everybody, this is Johnny Beane. 5:17 p.m., June 4th, 2019. David Nesdall's in the house.
Hey, Van Halen.
Hey, man. Jonathan Mancuda.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, welcome. Welcome, everybody.
Jonathan Mancuda.
Oh, fuck me. Hey, everybody.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah,
Hey.
it's not Tech More on Tuesday without me fucking something up.
Oh, wow.
Jesus. Never fails.
Not going to get me saying it.
Well, hey, welcome everybody. And if this is your first time here, if you like guitars, you like Van Halen guitars, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, leave a thumbs up, and yes. So, hey, what's up?
We talk about 80s bands. We talk about cool music. We talk about gear and other social sciences.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So what's new? Dave, what's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Do you want to tell them what happened off camera?
What just happened off camera?
When I said hello?
Oh, yeah. So I'm sitting here playing my guitar, waiting for Johnny to come on, because, the way they have this thing done. And I'm sitting here playing, and I had I didn't hear him or see him. And I had my head down, and all he says is, he said, "Hey!" And I jumped back. I almost had a heart attack. I was so my heart is still pounding.
Broadcasting live from the hospital.
Yeah.
Man.
I was in my own little world, just waiting to start. And
That's happened to me. I remember when I was I don't know, 16, 17, this guy came over to my rehearsal place and went to pick up his guitar, and I was same thing, looking down playing, and I look up and there's somebody standing there, and it
happens to me. It happens to me all the time. Like I'll be sitting here in my own little world playing, not paying attention to anything, and right here is Desiree, and I look up and I just get startled. It's just
Yeah, no, look, I mean, I'm sleeping all the time. I wake up and find strange men dangling over me as well. I mean,
that's a little disturbing, but not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah. James Gum, thank you. I didn't get the Lynch guitar yet. It'll be here tomorrow, so I don't have it for the show tonight. But thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So, Jonathan, how are you doing, man?
Good, brothers. Everyone in the chat, how y'all doing? I see so many familiar faces. Jimmy Carr's here.
Hey, Jimmy.
James Gunn, Bozique, Shauna Marie, Ben Combs, Anthony, R2, R3 Locking Nuts, Silvio. Nice. Here.
Yeah. Jimmy Carr just bought an amazing guitar from the same guy that I bought mine from.
Santa Claus?
Yes. Yeah. Scott Campbell, who we're going to have on the show very soon. We're going to have him on. We're going to show off his guitars and maybe help him sell some.
Cool. Scotty's good people.
Awesome.
We got a huge show for you guys today.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
I can't even describe that. You're gonna all want to stay till the end tonight. This is a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. Bozique, it's gonna have to be a secret, or you have to look on Facebook and because I kind of put pictures up, but they were pictures from the house that it's coming from. It hasn't been here. It's not here yet. So the real pictures aren't here yet.
The ones from in front of the couch and on the bed, and And on the wall.
Are we talking Dave's weekend or what? Are you?
Every day is my weekend.
I'm fucking Matt Damon.
I don't think anyone wants to do that. From what I'm told, he's got very stinky underarms. He doesn't use deodorant.
Well, that's why I lick them clean every time.
That's just disturbing. That's
What's
very
the thought
disturbing.
of me sleeping with Matt Damon?
Hey, Brett McCord, welcome. Shauna Marie Sings, Rick Hefner, James Gum. And real quick, I'm sure Nightbot will be spitting out the link here. At the end of the show, at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern time, I will have a video premiere right here on the channel. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
That's cool. Do we get a hint of what video it is?
Yeah. Actually, somebody asked me a question on another video. Yeah, I get comments and questions, all day long. And somebody asked me a specific question of how I do something.
Johnny, are you circumcised? Can you put it on video?
Oh
my gosh. Not on YouTube, I can't.
So we're switching to RedTube right after the broadcast.
Oh my gosh. So basically, I made a video and it'll be premiering right at 10 o'clock Eastern. So I'll be joining you guys over there for that. So, although if you're on Facebook, you'll see the link. If you go to johnnybeanetv, you'll see the video sitting there already.
That takes away the whole thing of the premiere. That takes away the whole fun of it. Don't look yet.
Oh, the thing is, it doesn't actually. The video won't play until 7 o'clock. So you can go over and look at it. You can't play it.
Oh, so get the link ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Nightbot will have the link in the chat box there.
Nightbot's good.
Yeah. Hey, John BL. Great seeing you on a Saturday night. We've got our own little program Saturday nights. We have a great time.
That's always good.
Yeah.
And I bought not one, but two badass guitars to show off tonight.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And I'm also offering, if anyone wants to know anything about any of the guitars that I have here, please ask and I'll grab it and talk about it. I don't have anything in particular, but if there's anything anyone wants to know about, anything that I have here, I'd be happy to show it off and talk about it tonight as well.
Coolio.
Yeah. I see you changed up your wall back there.
I did. I put everything on, well, not everything, but the wall is filled again. And I took away one of the stands that was in front of the TV so that we could actually watch TV and not be looking at guitars. And yeah, the room is feeling good. It's feeling good in here.
Jimmy Carr wants to know where Jay is tonight.
Jay's got family over his house. He said he'll try to make it on a little bit later, but he's got both sides of the family over.
That would actually make a great video.
It would.
That'd be great. Jay's whole family reunion, and they're all around a liquor still, and drinking corn squeeze moonshine.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, John. Jim Nicholas wants to know if you have any Bruce Kulick owned guitars.
I do have something of Bruce's that I will one day bring on the show. I'm friends with Bruce. He's a great guy. My own opinion, Kiss's best guitarist, and that says a lot because there's a couple of them in there, and I don't have it with me tonight, but I will bring it on the show one day. So I do own one, yeah, and it's recognizable. So yeah,
that's cool.
Good taste in liking Bruce.
I love Bruce too.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was Kiss's.
He was their best guitar player, absolutely.
Oh, so their longest, right?
Yes. And didn't Bob Kulick also play guitar behind the scenes when St. John was sick or maybe while he was playing guitar, maybe?
Not even so much that, but he played on like Kiss Alive 2, and he helped Paul write a couple of songs behind the scenes and did some solo work. So Bruce's brother Bob is the reason that Bruce got that audition.
Right.
Wow.
Because for those of you that don't know, if any of you guys out there are Kiss fans, and I know I am, you know, Ace Frehley coming into, you know, around 1980 was, you know, having a little creative differences with the rest of the band, and, you know, alcohol problems, et cetera, et cetera. You know, they were splintering right then, and they weren't getting a lot of hits out. You know, they just put out the disco song, I Was Made for Loving You. And basically,
I like that one.
I like it, but a lot of Kiss fans don't. But, you know, the bottom line is at some point they wanted a different guitarist. So they went over to Vinnie Vincent. Vinnie Vincent did 2 albums. He did Creatures of the Night and what was it? Lick It Up. And then they didn't get along well with Vinny. So they got Mark St. John. And they did, what was it?
Animalize?
Animalize. Thank you. They did Animalize with Mark St. John, who before touring had some sort of crippling hand disease. Yeah. And he couldn't play anymore. So that opened up the door for more auditions. And Bob Kulick, who was, again, ghosting some solos and stuff and writing with Paul in studio, basically said, hey, you know, you should audition my brother Bruce. And Bruce, as you know, got the gig, came on, did Crazy Nights, which is an incredible Kiss album, and just did it for years and years and years as their main guitarist, their longest running guitarist. I mean, I don't know how long Tommy Thayer is running now. I don't know how many years Tommy's been. A long time, but I still think Bruce is the longest, I think. But, you know, basically Bruce was in the band until they wanted to do that reunion tour with Ace and Peter. And they brought Ace back, and they explained it to Bruce, you know, hey, we want to, you know, just, you know, do this with Ace. And Bruce was a gentleman and said, hey, listen, guys, I'm for the good of the band. You know, you want to go back with Ace, that's cool. Wish you well. We're still friends. And, you know, he did Union, and now he's with Grand Funk Railroad, as well as some solo albums and
That's
stuff.
cool.
And Bruce is terrific player.
Hey, there's a couple questions in here. Hang on. Johnny, you got something to say real quick?
I saw Bruce at a Guitar Center one time. Guitar Center in Concord, California. I went in there and I see this guy walking around, and I'm thinking, that looks like the guy from Kiss. And so I Googled him real quick, and I'm like, yeah, that's him. And then I did some more Googling, if I can say that, and saw that Grand Funk Railroad had played in Sacramento the night before. So he was obviously like driving, you know, south, just passing through.
Yeah, Bruce is just like the rest of us when it comes to gear. He just loves hitting a store, hitting a pawn shop, and looking for cool axes, you know?
Yeah. Nick Horton asks if I got an Axis EX model. I have one coming. It won't be here until August, but I do have one coming. So stay tuned for that. And Brendan B. Squared says, hey, Dave, do you have any Jaguars or Jazzmasters that aren't visible? Trying to decide on getting a Jazzmaster or a Jaguar.
Invisible.
The ones I'm looking at have an adjustomatic bridge with anchored tailpiece. Well, Brendan, if you're going to get, first of all, I don't have any. But when I was younger, I had a vintage, I want to say like 64 or 65 Jazzmaster. If you're going to get one of those two guitars, I suggest getting the Jazzmaster because it's the big boy guitar of the two. The Jaguar, it was more of the junior guitar. It's a bit smaller in size. It was kind of meant for as a not necessarily beginner guitar, but like it's kind of the beginner to intermediate of the two from that era. The Jazzmaster has more switches, the better sounding pickups. It's just a much better guitar. That guitar in the mid '60s was supposed to be the flagship guitar for Fender. It ended up not being. I mean, because nothing beats a Stratocaster, but that was supposed to be their high end guitar, and it just it never made it. So.
Yeah, I love those guitars.
They're cool. They're different, but I wouldn't use it as a main guitar. It'd be great to record with, but
one of the issues I've had with them though is the switches. Don't they have like switches that just go like a little square goes like back and forth?
Yes, there are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I used to have one of those actually. I had a copy. Somebody gave me one like 20 something years ago. And but it was a real cheap guitar, so it wasn't really playable.
You know, I've seen those, but they just kind of remind me of that '90s, grunge scene. The Mustangs, the Jaguars, and I don't know. It just it never caught on to me. They're too. I don't know. They're not flashy enough for me.
The Jag Stain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost bought one of those years ago. I thought those were cool.
Johnny, Jim Nicholas brings up, I don't know what the deal with this is, but I'm curious. He says the producer you lived with wrote I Was Made for Loving You with Paul Stanley, the Kiss disco song. Is that true? Do you know about this?
Yeah. I was in a band about 20 years ago. And our producer and manager was this guy named Desmond Child.
Oh God! You lived with Desmond Child?
I lived in one of his spare rooms. Yeah,
dude, that guy was like freaking 80's magic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude Looks Like a Lady. Aerosmith. Living on a Prayer.
Well, almost every Bon Jovi song on that record.
You Give Love a Bad Name. And I would watch Desmond play the songs. He'd play them on piano because he couldn't play the guitar, but he was a piano player. And
that's a legend.
I would actually watch him play those songs and sing them. Yeah, he was great. He was great. And the last time I saw him was about 6 years ago. We went out to dinner in the city, and it was cool.
Get him on the show one day.
Somebody else asked me that. And
everyone.
It's possible.
Dude, I'd gladly sit out an episode if you got a guest like that. You bring Desmond Child on, I will absolutely quietly step down for the day.
Hello, Desmond.
I know. All of a sudden, Desmond's phone is being bombed.
Eduardo,
another day we can get rid of Mancuda.
That's so funny. Eduardo asks if I have any guitars that have never been seen on this show. Yes, I have a couple of guitars that I just don't want to put on social media, so they're not going to be shown on the show.
Mainly air guitars?
No.
The Wangcaster, right?
The Wangcaster. Yeah.
The Wangcaster. I got a big black Wangcaster guitar. No, the black one is a bass. The regular Wangcaster is a guitar. The black one's a bass.
Hey, Bam Ozzy.
Can't believe you live with Desmond Child. I didn't know that. That's like me going to you. Hey, Johnny. Yeah, no. I used to room with this one guy. He was always noodling around guitar. It was driving me nuts. I was trying to sleep. He's in the living room. He's noodling on his guitar all night. And I was like, hey, Halen, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was bizarre, being in that house in the studio. And who did I meet? I met Bon Jovi. I met his brother. I met his mom. You know that "Livin' La Vida Loca," Ricky
Yeah.
Martin. You remember that
Mhm.
song?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was there when they were writing that, and I used to answer the door and let Ricky in the studio.
I'll bet you did. Hey, Ricky, no one else is here, but come on in. Come on in. I'm just brewing some honey wine. You want to have a sip?
Honey wine?
Yeah.
It's sort of white color honey wine.
But yeah, every day was a circus, man. It was craziness.
I like that. Mama Jovi knocking at the door. I brought some soup for Chipper. Excuse me? Oh, John, we called him Chipper.
It was funny because when we were talking to her, she was telling us stories about John, and because my name is John or Johnny, she'd be looking at me, talking to me as if I was Bon Jovi.
She lost her mind. She's
It
senile.
was-
She's like, these checks arrived for you, so I cashed them. Here. Shh, don't tell Richie.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. No, she was cool. You know, his brother was cool. I can't even remember all every day was just craziness.
I used to be friends with one of his cousins, and sweet girl. She passed away, but she gave me some info on a background of a guitar I have of his that I'll bring on the show one day. But real shame, and she was very involved with. For those that don't know, John Bon Jovi has a charity restaurant that you can walk into, and not you and me walk into, but like someone who's hungry, a homeless person can walk into and pay whatever they can for a hot meal.
I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. If you're like, kind of down and out or something, you walk in, you sit down, they give you a menu, and they're like, if you can pay, that's great. Whatever, whatever you can pay, that's fine. Really, really great. I forgot the name of it. Maybe someone in the chat knows.
Yeah, John BL. Yeah, I remember he gave Desmond an acoustic. So there was I think it was an Ovation. So there was this Ovation acoustic in the studio, and I'd be playing it, and the 12th fret says I think it's a JBJ on it.
Was it a standing ovation?
But it was on the rack, yeah.
Right over Johnny's head. Yeah, that's probably like the one he's playing in Blaze of Glory video. Johnny's walking out the back door with it.
I've got pictures of it. Actually, I'll have to find those.
Yeah, dig it out. Let's see if we recognize it.
This was in the days before, I didn't even have a cell phone, but I would take, regular pictures with like a regular disposable camera. And so I do have pictures from Desmond's studio and some of the gear and guitars and stuff. I'll have to find that stuff.
That'd be cool. Michael Collins asked about the Vitas Gerulaitis Kramer. I have shown that off before years ago, but I have it in my hand. So if you want to see it again, I'll show it off again. How about that? When we do, as soon as we do some guitar, some show and tell, I'll do that.
Fun show and tell today, I'll tell you that. Everyone in the chat is like in shock that Desmond Child. I'm in shock, Johnny.
I'm surprised you didn't know that. I mean, Johnny says it every chance he gets.
I talk about it nonstop.
I never listen to you. I'm always talking so much. I listen to myself a lot. Usually the words I hear out of you are, yeah. Wow.
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 Right.
I'm gonna get one of those little talking keychains, and I'm gonna put it with Johnny Beaneisms, and it's all gonna be, yeah. Wow. And that's it.
Real quick.
And then the last one will say, "Are we good?"
Gotta feed the chickens. Gotta feed the chickens.
That'll be a big seller. Gotta walk Howie. Gotta walk Howie.
Howie's got to use the room.
Yeah. Oh man, we should make those. Yeah, we need those.
Yeah. Yeah. And what we could do is any day you want off, we'll just put a mannequin in your thing with a floppy hat and glasses, and we'll just keep you off screen of it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yep.
it sucks because that would totally fool everybody.
Yep.
I know. Tell me how many of those we would sell.
I've got so much to do today. I have a million things to do today.
Mm-hmm. Yep, all true.
You guys in the chat, would you buy a Johnny Beane voice keychain that gives all the Johnny Beaneisms?
Mm-hmm.
What's with the lighting in this room?
I know the lighting sucks.
My glasses are fogging up. By the way, Avery's.
How about this one? Live in the Discord.
This is Johnny Beane. This is Johnny Beane. By the way, Avery's guitar stuff. Thank you. It's called Bon Jovi Soul Kitchen. Is the restaurant that John Bon Jovi owns? The charitable restaurant that anyone could get a meal at. Tony Neville says, Mancuda Noser has met everyone in rock. I know Johnny Beane. That's all that matters.
You damn right.
Yeah.
I just ate a burrito.
Ramen.
Huh? What? Do
just
I
had a
say that?
ramen. No, I just had Chipotle.
Half ace? Actually, today is buy one get one at Chipotle if you're a nurse, and I'm not kidding. So
if you're a head nurse, Dave, what are you doing down there? I just see Dave's arm going like this. Oh boy. Ah! You know, I'm thinking we should have a Halloween show in October where we dress up as each other, and for the length of the show we play each other.
we actually kind of did that one time.
Did you really?
I think we went live on Halloween, and we have a friend named Joe Wentz, and he sent me a sweatshirt with his name on it, with his logo, and I wore his sweatshirt and a hat like his, and I was Joe Wentz for that night. You remember that, Dave?
Yeah, I do.
And what did you dress up as, Dave?
A hamburger.
Robble. No, I'm thinking that would be very funny. Like, you know, so someone will go as Johnny, someone will go as Dave, someone will go as me, someone will go as Jay, and we'll all, you know, play each other for one show.
Well, the only thing I could only go as you, John, because we're about the same size. Maybe you're taller than I am, but I mean, the other two are really small, thin guys.
No one knows how tall we are. We're sitting down. We're on screen.
Yeah, but your shoulders are broad like mine.
No one will care. Just switch hats and glasses and accessories. That's all we have to do. Someone needs a backwards baseball hat. Someone needs a pink beanie. We need a couple of sets of glasses. Johnny's floppy hat. I mean, we'll switch it around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping that you would send me a good celebrity guitar to show off that night.
We could do that. We'll do. You know what? In October, I'll probably be in New York, so I'll broadcast in your room.
Oh, great! And you can shave your head bald and wear glasses, and I'll wear that pink hat, and you'll just show off your guitar, but it'll be from here.
That'll be great. No, I'll get a skull cap or something. It's Halloween. They sell everything.
They do.
I'll put on a grump attitude, and you know.
Oh, please.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Halloween is on a Thursday this year, but we could do it. We could do it Tuesday. Halloween week.
Halloween more on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd wear the pink hat. Yeah.
There you go.
And then, huh?
Subscribe. Subscribe.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I went so many years without ever saying subscribe. You know. So I should make up for it, because YouTube told me how many subscribers I actually should have by now, and it's way more than I actually have. You know.
YouTube's like, you have 250,000 subscribers, Johnny, and like audience of 5,300 tunes in. It's like, where'd everyone go?
I know. You look in your analytics. It actually told me that I think over the course of the channel here, I think I've lost like 1,000 subscribers.
This week?
Yesterday.
Might have been.
Stay tuned for the rest of tonight.
Mm-hmm. But you know, it's not because of me. It's because, you know, people, they're always, you know, deleting their accounts, and you know, there's so many trolls that make, you know, Dave, remember that one guy? He had like 20 different accounts.
20, yeah, yep.
And he was always screwing with us.
Yep.
Wonder where he is.
Really? He's probably watching. Probably one of the guys that gave us the thumbs down. Just keeps quiet.
Or both of them.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Yeah. And then I saw in the chat, I'm sorry, who said it? Hey, Paul. Where is it? It helps if you want to get my attention, type my full name in the chat and it turns orange. But somebody asked me if I ever met Chuck Billy from Testament, and yeah, because I know Skolnick, and I've met Peterson. So yes, I've met Chuck as well.
Very cool.
There's a lot of great Johnnyisms in the chat if you scroll down. we gotta go from 5 buttons to like 20, just like one of the little sound effects machines. It's like, am I blurry? Hey, R2, watching you? I just ate a burrito.
And like 5 different types of laughter, you know.
You ever listen to like the canned laughter from like I Love Lucy or something, and you'll hear like
there's always one that you hear over everyone else.
Right. That's it. You'll hear like ah, you know, like very identifiable, some person that was in the audience at that time.
Speaking, there's one. Speaking. Oh, it'd be one of these. These.
Yeah, you put your keys on that.
The Johnny Beane sound machine. Yeah, you can actually hijack these things and put your own sounds in there.
Can you really?
Yeah, you can.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is gold.
You can. And somebody from Santa Cruz is on my website right now.
James Gum asks, do I own a Paul Unkrich or Kramer or BC Rich? Did Paul Unkrich worked at BC Rich? Did he work?
Yes, he did. After Kramer. Yes.
I have to say maybe. I mean, nothing specific like, you know, like one of Eddie's guitars or anything where, you know.
Which I have.
There you go. But like, I don't know if I do or don't.
I have a Paul Unkrich neck that's on one of my Van Halen guitars that's that Paul made for me, which is very cool.
But that was like specifically made for you, right?
Yes, but it was made exactly the way he made Eddie's necks back in the early 80s with his dad's or his grandfather's walnut bedpost. Exactly the same.
Wait, he carved up his bed for your neck?
No. It's a maple neck. But it was a beak headstock, a beak Kramer that he turned into a hockey stick like he did for Eddie's.
Okay.
And when he did it for Eddie's guitars, he did it with a piece of bedpost. His grandfather's bedpost was made out of walnut, and he would take pieces of that. You know, I mean, it was just sitting in the factory. So he would take pieces of that walnut bedpost and glue it on, and then recarve the headstock into a hockey stick. All of them, they're all made with that bedpost. And he did the same thing with my guitar with that walnut bedpost.
Oh, that's cool. I got a guitar made of these nuts.
Oh my god! Thumbnail.
That'll get thumbs up. Yeah,
That'll get something up.
they'll get me smacked in the head by my girlfriend. What the fuck?
James Gum wants to see that. It's only a neck, James. It's not the whole guitar.
Oh, but it's super cool though.
Yes, it is. Hang on.
I remember when you got that. And also, hey, Shauna. Shauna's on my website right now.
Nice.
It's actually on this guitar. It's on my 1984 guitar. So let's
Here, I'll present you so you can show that.
That's the neck. That's the headstock. I don't know if you can actually see. You see where the old holes were for the old tuning pegs, where they were doweled up.
Yeah.
And this part here is part of the bedpost. It's like this, and then over here, under the black stripe, is where the seam is, and this whole part is the bedpost.
Mm-hmm. I'll be right back.
Yeah, let's see if we can.
I haven't presented on you, so I'll be right back.
Yep.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So this neck,
from the front, I can see the dowels.
Yeah, absolutely. So this neck was made exactly like Eddie's guitars were.
How does it feel compared to some of your other necks?
It's cool. It's very cool. It's a great feeling neck. This guitar is not in tune at the moment, but it's almost in tune. Kind of. But yeah, it's on my 84. And it absolutely looks like one of Eddie's headstocks. It doesn't like the Musicraft guitars come very close, but this is like real deal. So
that's great, man.
Yeah,
very cool. And what's the body you have on that one? Is that a 5150?
It's a 1984 guitar.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Maybe one Halloween we'll all dress up as guitars.
Right?
One Halloween we'll all dress up as guitars.
Yeah.
We'll just tape each other up. Sounds like a good time. We'll tape each other up.
Damn it. All right. Can you hear me still?
What'd you say?
Yeah, exactly. So shall we show some guitars or no?
Yeah, let's I'll break out my first one.
Why not?
I'll break out my first one tonight. I guarantee everyone who's on here tonight will want to see both of the guitars I bring on.
Mm-hmm.
One is very cool, one is legendary. So don't leave early tonight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. James Gum asks if Paul Unkrich would build him one of those necks if you get in touch with him. What he'll do is he'll have you order, because I don't think he wants to make necks anymore. He's getting, he's not a spring chicken anymore. He doesn't really have the patience to do it, I don't believe. But what he will do is if you buy a beak neck, beak Kramer neck from Musicraft, he'll absolutely change that headstock into a hockey stick for you. I don't know how much he charges, but you can get in touch with him, send him a neck that's a beak or a Strat, and he will make it into a hockey stick for you.
Wow.
And he'll make it look like Van Halen's guitar. He will not paint it for you. You'll have to do all the painting yourself, but he'll do all the doweling of the old holes. If he has any of that wood left from that bedpost, he'll use that. You should ask him if he has that,
Man.
and he'll do it.
I remember when you got that neck. Now I remember we saw you showed it off before it was painted, and I remember telling you, man, don't paint that, man.
But I still have photos of it like that in my book.
Too cool. It's too cool, man.
Well, I wanted to be able to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you got it.
But I do have photos of it before it was painted in my phone, so at least I still have the photos.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing, Dave.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah. And James Gum, yeah, just contact Paul. Tell him you'd like to send him a Music Craft neck and ask him if he'll do that headstock. I'm sure he'll say yes.
Brendan Buttcheek says that some of the chatters should play us for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just catching up on the chat. Mike gets himself. Yes, I have a couple of CC DeVille's guitars. I think I had one of them on the show so far, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The I think it was a BC Rich.
Then the Nagel? The Nagel one, right?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. The Pink Nagel. Okay. Yeah, I have a couple of his guitars. I'll bring them on over time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, Bozique asked this. This is interesting. He's asking, the canned laughter has been the same audio clip for decades. Is that true? If so, on sitcoms, all the canned laughter you hear, all the people are dead by now. Not necessarily true. There's a bunch of different ones.
Well, you know what they do when they do a live studio audience? They record the audience and they use that laughter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But he's saying, like, was I Love Lucy the same laughter as Three's Company? No, but they did use, like, you know, the same laughter on Three's Company, probably as like All in the Family, or, you know, I'm sure they reused it, the recordings, but not like over decades.
Right. Like that. Like that.
Yeah. Brian,
but real quick. Here's I get a word in. Real quick.
I'm telling you, it's a great idea.
Speaking of canned laughter, one of my very favorite shows of all time, Seinfeld, has its 30-year anniversary, I think this Sunday.
Oh, cool. Are they going to do anything for it?
We should.
No, are they going to do anything?
Yeah, they are. But if you watch some of those the earlier episodes, or maybe any of them, if you listen to the laughter, you can actually hear Jerry laughing as well. You can hear Seinfeld's voice laughing. Yeah, so you know that was piped in because he's on stage, but you hear his voice. You know.
Yeah. That's cool. Brian Stewart asks, which of my guitars do I consider the most valuable, and can we see it? My most valuable guitar is not a guitar I want to put on social media. So I'm sorry, because I've let my address fly on this thing many times, and I don't want to take a chance of anything ever happening to it. So I will not show it on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very shy about showing off my stuff too.
Just say it's an air guitar. Oh, here's my favorite. It's an air guitar, though.
And I take it with me everywhere. I'm going to show off the first guitar I brought tonight. This is a non-celebrity guitar, but super freaking cool. No crazy story behind it, but this is one of my favorite playing Charvels. For those of you that know me, I like certain brands really a lot, and one of them is the San Dimas era years of Charvel, which was the company that also spawned Jackson. So Charvel started with pre-pros, and then Grover Jackson came in, and they started serial numbering them. The first batch had Strat headstocks, and then about 1982, I believe, Fenders started giving them cease and desist letters, and they came up with a pointy head stock that they were building in America till 1986. So I got a lot of San Dimas era Charvels. They're amazing players. This one is one of my personal favorites, just for the feel of it, but also if you look at the finish, you see a lot of blue bursts, you see, you know, interesting colors. This was the first red burst that I've ever come across in a Charvel, and it's got like a silver center with a red burst on it. Charvel pointed headstock, made in the USA, maple neck, which feels amazing. Charvel, San Dimas Charvels are really known for really comfy necks, really fast necks. Guys like Warren DeMartini were playing them back in the day. A lot of guys were playing Charvels back in the day when they were built in San Dimas, California. But this guy particularly, red burst, dual hum, Kahler, which again, Kramer had the whole thing of Floyd Rose back then, and a lot of other guys were using Kahlers. I like both. This feels really, really comfy. And it goes on the back too, the red burst. Hard to see in the light. There you go. That's pretty accurate. The back.
That's pretty incredible.
Wow.
Yeah. These numbered plates, for those that you could see this, these San Dimas numbered bolt-on plates, these alone, they're so desirable. These alone sell for a couple $100 just for the number plate.
Now, did they go in order? Because I know in Kramer, the plates don't mean anything really. They never went in order. They had a box filled with them, and they would just pick them out as they wanted, but not in order.
BC Rich did that also. They just printed them all in advance, but Charvel, these went in order. So you could tell, like this one is 3768. You could basically tell, you know, a certain numbers for certain years, you know, series. Like I think up till about 2000 was like 1982, up till 1982, and then like before 83, I think it went up to like 3900 or something. I forget the exact numbering, but they're so desirable, and they basically made, I think the number produced was 5,491 San Dimas Charvels numbered, starting with number 1001. And then before that, they made about 700 and something pre-production ones that didn't have numbers, or a few of them had a 5-digit serial just before they started with these 4-digit serials. But, and this has a an early Jackson pickup. I forget which one. I think it's a 50, or I forget which one it is, but it's an early Jackson pickup. It just plays amazing. These maple necks. Look at that dirty maple. I don't know if you could see that, but there's just nothing like dirty maple that, you know, Eddie knows. Look at all that gunk on it.
There it is.
I just love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how my guitars look, and everybody gets grossed out.
Yeah, so there you go. San Dimas Charvel in very rare red burst.
Beautiful.
Get on the can applause. People that died 50 years ago. They were applauding for I Love Lucy, and now they're applauding for my Charvel.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. And is that what'd you say it was? Cherry burst?
No, a red burst.
Red burst. So
Red
is it red and white or red and silver?
It's like red with like a silverish kind of finish. So the silver is bursting out of the red finish, like a candy apple red on the outside. Usually like a cherry sunburst is like, you know, that orangey kind of coming out of like a natural wood or yellowish.
Right.
This is silver coming out of like a candy apple red. I've never seen one before like that.
Yeah, I've never seen one before that one either. That one's gorgeous.
Thank you.
You know, even with the Kaler, I'm not a fan of Kaler, but that guitar is ridiculously cool.
Some people love them, some people hate them. Kaler's is so polarizing, you know. It's like one guy I know, he says Kaler's killing guitars dead since 1982 or whatever it is. But like I dig them, and I also dig Floyd's and I dig Fixed Bridges, but I could play through either because I never like learned on one specific one. But like some guys are like either really love them or really hate them. I dig them.
Well, you know what I don't like about them is that the locking nuts are they're not very tough. Like if you over tighten one of those, it's all over because the pads that go on top of the strings, they're not very strong, and you can get the kink of the string in the pad, and then when you use the tremolo, the string is moving in there. It's not locked anymore.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes those pads, I guess you're calling them, sometimes those can fall out.
Yeah, they have fallen out.
And
Yes.
it's a nightmare.
I've had that too.
Yeah.
I've had that too.
You know, it wouldn't be so bad if they used the bottom part of a Kaler and used the top locking nut of a Floyd Rose. That would make sense to me because it's just a stronger material and they last longer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm sure people have done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just use duct tape and put it around the nut, and you know, I hope for the best.
You mean the guitar nut?
Are we talking about guitars again?
Oh my goodness. Wow. Thumbs up. We got 39 thumbs. 85 watching.
I want to see some great thumbs up for later because I brought on a legendary guitar tonight.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. This one was cool. This is one of my favorite players. But I promise you in the chat, I promise you watching the rerun, this is not a guitar you won't drop your jaw of. Holy shit, I can't believe I'm watching this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you better leave your thumbs up now because you'll be in shock. You won't be able to leave the thumbs up after you see it. You'll just
leave a thumbs up in advance.
I agree.
For this.
I agree.
I promise, my word.
I think you're gonna lose your shit over the guitar I'm about to show, and it's not even one of Eddie's guitars. It's just a replica of it. So there. Any hints, John?
I'm just reading the chat. Fabulous Disaster says, whose guitar was that? The Redburst guitar belongs to John Mancuda, and he's terrific. Not a great guitar player, just kind of mediocre, but a wonderful guy, great actor, very funny, devastatingly handsome. Yeah. No, that's my guitar. No one famous. I bring on a lot of celebrity guitars on the show, but that's not one of them. I also bring on just a lot of cool things I enjoy from my collection. So I want to share with you guys.
Yeah. It's all about sharing and loving.
Yeah. Mike Hogue says anybody using an Eddie guitar is a total loser. Well, you're definitely on the right channel there, pal.
We're a very big Van Halen centric show.
Yeah. I used mine today, but it was for like a Van Halen purpose.
We're still talking guitars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. 48 thumbs ups.
Everyone's giving a lot of chili dogs and Pat's dogs for my guitar. Thank you, guys and gals.
Wow. Yeah, that's the thing. If you already left a thumbs up, leave a chili dog in the chat.
Yeah, the Pat's dogs, chili dogs is a long-running joke on this show.
Brian Davies, my thumb is actually better. I'm just waiting for that thing to fall off. It's just a scab. I don't want to pick it off or anything.
Yeah, no.
Let's see. Jim Nicholas wants to know, are there any hints to the celebrity guitar I brought today?
How about this?
Well,
that's all I'm gonna do.
Should there be a hint or not? I mean,
yeah. This is it. That's all I'm doing.
There you go. Mouths are watering now. Shauna Marie says this better be good. What do you got? Come break my windows if I'm lying? It'll be good. I promise. I promise. It's like, it better be good, Mancuda.
Here's another hint for you that haven't gotten it already.
In my dream. Brian Davies. John Mancuda! Brian Davies! Love you, brother. Although you spelled John with John, it's Jon. But I love you anyway, man. Oh, no.
Oh, everything's ruined.
I love that. I love that. That's my favorite sound on those sound effects boxes. Oh.
Yeah, that one and this one.
Well, that's just my boner, but
well, you never want to hear this after you or before you do this or after.
Oh man,
you want to hear
my soggy schlong.
Soggy. God.
That's crazy. That's just crazy, yo.
I love I'm driving to work. I'm in a good mood. All of a sudden, if you have ED, it's like, what? I just ate breakfast. I want to talk about ED.
Unless his name is Ed.
Yeah, right. If you have EDVH.
Very funny. Very funny.
Krellbar says, after all this suspense, John's going to pull out an Ibanez Geo.
Hey, I got an idea, Johnny. Why don't you talk about your GMW right there? Talk about that. You haven't talked about that in a while.
What?
Yeah.
That old thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you let people know what that is? Because, maybe some people don't.
I think most people don't.
Well, why don't you let them know?
Okay.
Show it off.
All right. We might need a few thumbs ups though for that.
Bravo. Thumbs up. What do you got there, Johnny Beane?
All right, everybody. Yeah, this is my GMW. It says Kramer. Looks like a Kramer. This was basically, it was a custom guitar, custom made by GMW Guitars, Guitar Works. And they no longer, they don't make these guitars anymore, or they don't paint them anymore. Since EVH has been making their own striped guitars for the past, how many years? 8 years?
Yeah.
10 years?
Quite a while.
Probably since the Charvels, the art series, when those came out. But this was a guitar that I got. I got it at the South by Southwest guitar show.
Dave!
Yes.
Boo!
What? Yeah. Just because I'm not paying attention to you, Johnny? I'm paying attention. I'm listening.
No, but what was funny is like Johnny just put you on screen and you're just like.
No, I had just gotten a text from.
Like you work in a jigsaw puzzle or something.
You guys.
I think on this guitar, James, I think it's a poplar body. I think. And what year is this?
It's 1984. Sorry.
I want to say this might be. Well, I got it in 2009, but I got it used. I want to say it might be like a 2006. I have the receipt actually from the original owner.
It's all beat up, man. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You couldn't get a new one? You couldn't afford a new one? What's up?
They made two different versions of it. They made a relic version, which looks like this, and then they made a brand new version. And this was just, it was a used guitar, you know, at a guitar show. And I saw it and thought it looked cool. And I just happened to know the guy who ran the booth next to the guy that had this. So we worked up a deal where the guy that I knew would drive this thing back to California from Texas, and I would pick it up from him.
Nice.
So,
and it's great when you don't have to ship the damn things.
And yeah, this was a guitar I've used for years, doing a lot of my Van Halen guitar tricks, you know, videos, you know. And speaking of that, the video premiere coming up at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, right after this show, features this guitar. That's why it's here. That's why it's out.
Nice.
So yeah, anyway, yeah. Oh my gosh. So yeah, great guitar. Oh, and there's the like you were talking about the maple, the dirty maple. You can see some on there. I've cleaned it. Believe it or not, I've cleaned my necks, you guys, over the years. That was actually way dirtier years ago.
Those frets still look good to me.
Got to break them in more.
Yeah. Well, who was that? That said, if you play a Van Halen striped guitar, you're a loser.
I don't know. I think he's gone.
We all have some.
Yeah.
Every one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool stuff. And I played one gig with this, but it wasn't my main guitar for the gig. I also had my Telecaster. You know? So.
Krellbar says, I've given all the thumbs up a can capping. In his best, Mr. Scott.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
That's cool, man. That's a nice one.
There's another guitar showing off tonight.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any guitars we can show off tonight?
A lot of people are guessing it's George Lynch's guitar. One of my George Lynch guitars. It just might be. I'm not going to say definitely, but it might be. A lot of cool Philly dogs in the chat. Thank you, guys. A lot of thumbs up coming in. Thank you. You're going to really like this. No shit. This is going to be a fun night.
Yes.
And
it is a fun night.
It is a fun night. Krellbar says, if he pulls out the original Tiger guitar, I'm going to fudge my undies. Well, there you go. Let me get some milk, and we're ready to go.
Phil Mosley Music asks, are all the different replicas of the striped guitar supposed to be of the same guitar of his different of his at different points in time, or did he have a few of those striped guitars? Sorry for my ignorance. Well, he's probably had about 150 of them. The main ones, I mean, he's had a lot that he's used on video. The main one was the Frankenstein guitar that he used since the very beginning. It started off black and white. Then by the second record, he painted over the black and white and made it black, white, and red. He used that guitar predominantly until 1984, where he started using the guitar that's behind Johnny. That's called the 5150 guitar made by Kramer. He had hundreds of those painted, but that's the particular one that he used mostly. And us guys that make the replicas, we like to make replicas of everyone that he's been seen with, or even backup guitars. They're all pretty much the same guitar, but the striping schemes are different. Some of them are different, maybe different pickups, maybe slightly different variations, but mostly it's the same guitar with different stripes on it. So that's where that's at. And I'll be showing one in a second myself.
And by the way, it's not ignorance if you don't know that.
Yeah,
it's very cool that you were smart enough to ask, and now you know.
Yeah, and I would say maybe 50 to 60% of people in general, maybe even more, wouldn't bother to ask the question you asked, but want to know because they don't know. So
I would say 95% of people, think Eddie's, red, black, and white guitar is all the same guitar.
I'll bet you're right.
The casual fans, not the weirdos.
Absolutely, casual fans. You're right. I would say even 100% of casual fans.
Yeah, Dave has like cataloged images of probably every one of them.
Almost.
So, he knows this to a science. Your casual guy just, oh yeah, Van Halen, right, that Jump song. They probably are, like Johnny said, probably are thinking it's one red, black, and white guitar.
I got the Dave Nesdall machine. No, wait, this is the Dave Nesdall machine.
Oh, listen, I did it twice already during the show. You wouldn't even known it.
Oh,
we need to have a scratch and sniff card mailed out to fans, and what we'll do is we'll have a signal flashing on the screen when it's time to smell the card, so you're really immersed in the show.
Jim Nicholas asked Dave, was the 5150 body built at the Duck Decoy Company? Sports is the name of the company in Connecticut. That's really hard to answer. I would bet that it was. I'm sure it was a custom order, but I'm willing to bet it probably was. Most of them were back then. Just that normally it would have been poplar or basswood. But I mean, Eddie, since he's Eddie Van Halen, a lot of people think that it's swamp ash, that guitar. I don't know what it is. I still think it's basswood, but that argument will be forever and ever and ever. But I'm willing to bet it was made at Sports.
It's every day on Facebook.
Yeah,
the same people.
I know totally it's made of ash. You can't tell me otherwise.
Well, a lot of people say because they can see the striations in the wood. But even basswood has I've seen basswood with figure in it where you can see the striations in the wood. Most of the time basswood's a very plain looking wood, but I've seen it with wood grain as well.
A couple of questions I got to catch up on real quick. Hold on one second. Someone asked how many guitars I have. I have over 300 guitars, mostly from the 80s. And then Todd, a.k.a. Soda Pop, wants to know what else I collect, because I do have a lot of hobbies. Guitars is one of them. And again, I don't play professionally. I suck. I play to relax. I just, play some 80s songs on my couch. That's my day of relaxation.
I thought you play them on a guitar, not on your couch.
Yeah, ba-boom. Play that cushion. Other than that, I'm a huge comic book junkie. Love comic books. They're a huge part of my life. I collect the original art to comic books. But those are like my two main hobbies, like 80s guitars and comic books and the original art used to make comic books. So that's the big thing I collect.
Brian Landreth asks, Dave, my last name is spelled incorrectly, but that's okay. Did Grover Jackson say that the original white guitar was basically a Warmoth body, or by that guy that created Warmoth? He also said he built the Bumblebee guitar. I don't know if Lynn Ellsworth and Wayne Charvel ever worked for Warmoth, but basically the Frankenstein, which was the black and white one on the first record cover, which was repainted by the second album in '79, red. That was made by a guy named Lynn Ellsworth, and he worked at Charvel Guitars in San Dimas. So him and Wayne Charvel made those two guitars, the black and white, which became the red black and white, and the black and yellow. I'm not sure if either one of those guys ever worked for Warmoth. I don't think so, but I could be wrong about that.
Mm-hmm. It's possible a company that they worked for turned into Warmoth eventually. You know?
Maybe. I really don't know.
Mm-hmm. John B.O. He says, leave me alone.
Just looking in the chat. For those of you guys waiting for the second show and tell guitar tonight, you might even want to text a couple of friends just to check this one out.
Mm-hmm. Fleetwood Mac and Jim Nicholas, Boogie Bodies came into they came into the picture a little bit later. The Lynn Ellsworth guitar wasn't a Boogie Bodies; it was basically a Charvel. Boogie Bodies was the thicker bodies that Eddie used, the 2-inch thick bodies in the Fair Warning era. The Unchained Circles guitar, which became the Rasta, and the Rude guitar. Those were Boogie Bodies guitars. And Krellbar, yes, the original was Northern Ash. Absolutely. It still is. And it's over at the Met in New York.
On display right now.
Mm-hmm.
Thrash Metal and Fun Riffs wants to know, am I wearing a Slayer shirt today? I'm not. I dig Slayer. I'm not, but I'm wearing a band called Kissing Judas, who sent me this shirt. Thank you, guys. And very cool band. And a couple of friends of mine are in there giving a 3-guitar attack in there. So it's pretty fun. So Kissing Judas, you might want to look them up on Facebook.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Let's see what else we got in the chat going on. Brett McCord wants to know, do I order most of my comic books? I've been reading comic books since I was a kid, and I never stopped. So I have comic books like, back issues like all the way back to the 1940s, like way before my parents were even sperm. And I have ones, right up till last week. So every week I have a store in New York, which is my hometown where I grew up. They pull my weekly comic books, and whenever I go visit New York, because I live in Hollywood now, I bring an empty suitcase and just schlep them back here to read. So they pull my comic books every week. Fourth World Comics, if you guys are in New York, that's in Smithtown. Great comic book store. Shout out.
Cool.
Yeah.
TWF 7847 asks if the original Frankenstein Strat was heavy. Is heavy. Yes, it is. It's Northern Ash. Northern Ash is a heavier wood. That I've never actually felt the original one, but it's probably around 10 pounds.
Brian Stewart wants to know how I store 300 guitars or 300 plus guitars. They're between 4 different houses, so they're not all in one location. And I keep them in cases, just to keep them clean and ready to go. I keep a certain amount out at a time to play. I like to rotate them a lot. Every one of them gets played, even the celebrity guitars. So yeah, I have four different places I keep them.
Very cool.
All right, let's see. 6:30. What do you think?
Should I show
Now-
a guitar? Should I show?
Is now a time for another one? I think.
Yeah, I'll
so.
show one real quick. Yep. So this guitar, I know Johnny is not around to.
Here.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, there
I,
you are. Okay.
I heard you say something. There we go.
All right. So this is the Vitas Gerulaitis guitar. Well, it's a replica of it. The original one is owned by Tommy at the Music Zoo here on Long Island, and I was fortunate enough to play that guitar several times and hold it and take pictures of it. And for a long time, Tommy really asked if I would not make a replica of it, but it took me a long time to do that. I respected his wishes for a very long time, and I decided to do one just for myself. Well, they're all for myself, but this is it, and it's exact. There's everything down to the black string tree, the gold original Goto tuners from, I think they're from 81 or 82. Here's the back of the guitar. 6 bolts on the neck plate, just like it was on Eddie's guitar.
James Gum is asking, is that a Music Craft neck?
This is a Music Craft neck, yeah. Yeah, the body is a Chris Locke custom guitar body. And he's got the exact specs of the original body. So this was it's dead on. I don't remember what this pickup is. I think it's a JB. I can't remember, but I think it's a JB.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely. Why am I blurry? It's definitely a Seymour Duncan.
Yeah, it's a Duncan. I believe it's a JB.
Mm-hmm. A Johnny Beane.
JB. One of the greatest sounds of the 80s.
Yeah. And this Floyd is a super duper clean mid 80s Floyd Rose. It's not new. It's an old one, but it's really clean.
Definitely.
Wow. 100 watching.
Nice.
Everybody. Oh, 99.
So in this 100 watching show, I can expect to see 100 thumbs up, probably, right?
Probably. Well,
probably.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Leave a thumbs up, everybody. You won't believe the second Mancuda guitar.
Mm-hmm.
You won't believe it. And I've got a video premiere coming up right after the show, so make sure you stick around for that. You guys can actually hop over there. You can open up another window and leave a thumbs up over there already. Just to let you know. Look at all those.
James Gunn just inundated us with hot dog comments. All right.
Very cool.
Rock and roll, brother.
And bacon? Is that bacon?
Yeah, it looks like bacon too.
Where'd you get the bacon?
I don't know. I've never seen bacon, but that's cool. Jim Nicholas, yes, the stripe around the body is 3/4 of an inch.
I love Simone more than bacon, but I really love bacon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bacon's good stuff.
Bacon's great.
Mm-hmm. You ever have beef bacon?
No, I've never tried it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I eat, and it's amazing.
I've got to show you something because this is burning at me now.
You're gonna stand up?
1 second. Keep talking about bacon.
Speaking of bacon, yeah, beef bacon. Yeah, there's a company, Wilshire. Where's Jay? Now we're talking about food. Jay, are you watching? Bet you Jay's itching to jump in here, man.
He's not even in a chat. Oh, look, the guitar changed on your end.
Huh?
You want to talk about that one next?
The best. I know this is so on topic only because we're talking about bacon. Simone got me probably the best Valentine's Day card I ever got in my life. And Johnny, present this. You got to see this. This is fun. All right, ready?
Mhm.
Just watch this.
That's awesome. And the bacon has smiley faces on them.
Is that awesome and a half?
Oh,
Yeah. That's a card you got to save.
Card. I'll die with that card clenched to my hands. That's why I always say now, I go to her, I'm like, babe, I love you more than bacon. You know?
Nice.
That's a big deal.
Awesome. All right, Johnny, show off that guitar now, and then John will show his last one.
Okay. All right. Say something, Dave, real quick.
All right, something real quick. But here
Crowbar
it is.
says bacon is magical. It comes from unicorns. Yes, Crowbar, that is absolutely true. It is magical.
They come from UNICEF.
Shauna Marie says Simone rocks. Damn straight.
Mm-hmm. Is that true?
You rock too, Shauna.
Unicorns?
Unicorns rock.
Mm-hmm. All right, real quick. This is the Kramer 1984 guitar. This was a gift from David Nesdahl way back in the day.
Back when I actually liked him.
Mm-hmm.
No, I still like you, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
We love you, Johnny.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Dave sent it to me in pieces, and I slapped it together. And,
It's still in good shape.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great guitar. The pickup in there is an EVH Wolfgang. Probably from either a Circles or a Star, because those are the two models that come with the cream pickups. But yeah, I use this guitar as well for some of the videos. You know, this kind of stuff. You know.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
James Gum says, wasn't that guitar painted at Gibson? No, it wasn't painted at Gibson. I have a buddy of mine who worked at the Gibson Custom Shop who made that guitar for me, but it wasn't done at Gibson. And I decided to give it to Johnny, you know, because I had a lot of them and felt like gifting him a guitar. So that's the one I gave him.
Mm-hmm.
All you've ever
Thank
gifted
you again.
me was a cold.
What's that?
I said all you ever gifted me was a cold.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's not true. You actually gave me a really cool gift the last time I was out there. I'm still grateful.
You should show that. You should show it.
It's in New York.
Oh, it's in. That's your.
When I'm in New York next, I'll bring it on the show. But yeah, Dave gave me something really cool. We all love each other. Fans send us stuff, and we send each other stuff. This is one big love fest. We're all jizzing all over each other. This is great. Ah. I'm telling you, the Johnny Beane sound machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very possible to make one of those.
Yeah,
because I've seen people actually they've taken these things apart, and it can be done.
Blank Palette 2 asks, which of Eddie's guitars had MJ wound pickups in it? I'm willing to bet most of them. I'm willing to bet MJ made most of Eddie's pickups. Or at least the ones that were made by Seymour Duncan.
AI Gaming wore a garbage bag just for the occasion. That's awesome, man.
I got to take Howie out real quick. There he is.
I'm telling you, I got to start recording these.
Mhm.
Take Howie out, and we'll talk about bacon. Yeah.
Okay.
So we were talking earlier in the show. I'm as soon as Johnny gets back, we'll I think we'll get in the last 10 minutes. We'll get to our last guitar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
and
fine
then
with me.
Johnny will have his world premiere of his video, so that'll be fun. But we were talking earlier on the show about Kiss guitarists, and I'm really curious. Again, you know, I think every one of Kiss's guitarists has brought something really cool to the table. Various albums. I mean, I love Vinnie Vincent's playing. You know, even though, you know, he's grandstanding on the solos. I mean, think about it. The guy wrote, you know, Lick It Up, and that was a great album. And he was playing on Creatures of the Night, even though they initially tried to say it was mostly Ace. It wasn't. It was Vinnie. And then, again, my personal favorite is Bruce. But I'm curious, what is your favorite Kiss guitarist, Dave Nesdahl? And then I'd like to turn it to the chat as well.
Well, definitely Bruce Kulick is my favorite Kiss guitar player. I also like Tommy Thayer. And I like him because he's a great player, but I like him because when I met him, he was absolutely the kindest, one of the kindest guys I have ever met. Gave me the time of day. You know, like a lot of celebrities, they don't give you the time of day. They really don't. Luckily, most of the people that I meet, most of the celebrities that I've met or that I meet or that I become friends with are super sweet. But Tommy Thayer was, I met him at a function where he was playing at, and I actually helped get him the guitar that he borrowed for that show through the Music Zoo. It was a 59 Les Paul.
Nice.
And I was able to present it to him for him to borrow. And I hung out with him the whole day. He just a sweetheart, talked to me about a lot of things, gave me a bunch of his guitar picks, you know, shared some stuff about his tone. He also used one of my amps. I think it was that 100-watt rock and roll amp behind me that he borrowed for the show. Yeah, it was because he wanted a Marshall type thing, and that was what I had. So yeah, that's the amp he borrowed, and he loved it. And you know, I have a piece of history that Tommy Thayer used. But again, he was super nice. As far as guitar players go in Kiss, I think Bruce Kulick was my favorite. He always had the coolest guitars. He always had the greatest tone. His solos made sense. I mean, they were all great. Just everything about Bruce Kulick in Kiss was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Moon has a great question, a really great question. He says, why did Eddie like the Amber Music Man so much if all the other guitars were made exactly to the same specs? Now, Zach, that's true. You can have a dozen guitars on a rack that are made exactly the same, with the same woods and the same, you know, same feel, everything. There is going to be one or two guitars that stand out and that just ring out better, sound better, react better. You know, they're just, you know, they're one of these guitars. Now, I'll tell you a quick story. My buddy Andy Aladort, who works for Guitar World magazine, back in '92, I believe, or maybe it was not. It was just before the Balance record, actually. Went to 5150 to interview Eddie for the Balance record.
I think it was '96.
Okay, well, it was one of the it was for the Balance record. I know that. And he was at 5150, and Matt Bruck and Eddie were in the studio. And Eddie was doing something in the live room for a second. And while Andy was waiting for Eddie to come back to interview him, there was about 12 Music Man guitars on like stands in front of him. And quickly, you know, he asked he asked Matt if he could check him out, and Matt was like, "Yeah, absolutely, you could play them." So he would check out one by one. Now that amber one was somewhere in the middle of the rack. It wasn't in the beginning. It wasn't anywhere where it was noticeable. And Andy also is not a huge Van Halen nut like we are, so he didn't know the difference between all of them. Which one was the main one or anything. So he's playing he gets 6, 7 of them in his hands, and they're all great. And then all of a sudden he picks up the yellow one, which was in the middle of the rack, and he's playing it. And he says, "Matt, what's up with this one? Why is this one so much better than the rest of them? They're all great, but what's up with this one? It's like alive." And Matt was like, "Well, yeah, that's the one. That's the one that Eddie plays every day. That's the one." So that's the answer. Some guitars are just alive. That was the long answer.
That's a good answer, though.
I think the short answer is Eddie said that was the one that he played. The yellow one was the very first production one that they made.
Well, it still didn't have a signature on the headstock. So
No,
I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily call it a production model, but it was probably the one that they decided to use as the production model.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was on MTV and he was showing the guitars off, and he was holding that guitar, and he's like, "This." He actually said, "This is the first production one."
Okay.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Eddie's word for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just real quick, because I wanna bounce this off of Johnny too, and I want to give my own answer. Back to Kiss guitarist real quick. What the hell happened there?
Huh?
Your guitar just jumped.
Did it? Yeah. How he's lying there.
Oh, okay.
I think he's about to knock them over.
All right, he's off screen, but I just saw your guitar suddenly get a boner. I don't know what the hell. It's like jumping like it's haunted. Plays itself.
Mm-hmm. He actually did knock a guitar over one time. Do you remember that, Dave?
No, I don't remember.
He knocked over I had an acoustic lying against the couch, and Howie knocked into it, knocked it over.
We love Howie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's awesome. All right, we got 10 minutes.
All right, real quick, Kiss guitarist. Just want to review it. So Ace is the classic. Ace is the original, the originator. Terrific, love him, and Ace is terrific. If you ever watch an interview with Ace, oh my God, hilarious.
Just his laugh alone.
He's almost like Gilbert Gottfried, kind of slowed down a bit,
Mm-hmm.
So he's fun. And then let's see, you got Vinny again. He grandstands a lot, but man, the guy could write. And Bob Kulick again, ghosting guitar. Terrific writer, terrific player. You just never knew he was unofficially in Kiss here and there. Mark St. John, great player, real technical. Just real sad that he got that disease in his hands and he couldn't play anymore. I mean, talk about a curse, right? You get that gig, and then you can't play anymore. I mean, that's gotta hurt. Again, Bruce Kulick, friend of mine, great player. My own opinion, Kiss's best technical guitarist, best writer for sure, guitar-wise. And then, you got Tommy. And, the thing about Tommy was in Black and Blue. Great guitarist in Black and Blue. You don't believe me? Google Hold On to 18 on YouTube and rock to that one. And he basically could ape Ace's playing note for note. He was teaching Ace his own songs when Ace came back in the band for reunion. So they basically, and he was already, associated with Kiss. He was like, I think their touring manager or something at one time. So they basically said, you know what, Tommy, throw on the makeup. We're ditching Ace again. You could be Ace. And, Tommy Thayer's been doing a great job. But, for my personal money, best out of all those great players, Bruce.
Bruce Kulick was so good they didn't need makeup.
Yeah. And Crazy Nights is such a great album. Oh my God. And Revenge.
Mhm.
Holy hell. What do you think, Johnny? Yeah.
What do I think about that?
What do you think Kiss guitars? Who's your favorite Kiss guitarist?
I
What was the
like
question?
what?
Wow.
What was the question?
All right. I mean, I'm not the biggest Kiss fan in the world, but I like Ace.
Billy Joel was your favorite Kiss guitarist?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I like Ace. I mean, I you know, I like the vintage, you know, Kiss videos, and
I
you
like
know?
the sloppiness of Ace too, because I mean, Ace is Kiss. Let's just face it.
Yeah,
Ace
for
really
sure.
is Kiss.
I'm one of the, you know, you're talking about casual Van Halen fans, not knowing the different Van Halen guitars. I'm a casual Kiss fan, you know, although I do know that Ace and Tommy are two different people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I have that great shirt with all 9 guys from Kiss all in that one shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 7 minutes, and we got to be done. We gotta
Show that guitar. Let's go. It's going to take all 7 minutes because people are going to go ooh ah ooh ah ooh ah.
All right, guys, get ready. So tonight's celebrity guitar, the guitar I promised you, is a legendary guitar that you will all recognize. Belongs to George Lynch, or used to belong to George Lynch. Now belongs to me. A little history behind this. George was playing the Yellow Tiger for years. You know, that was his one of his 2 first Tigers. He had a green Tiger, Booger, that he used in the Breaking the Chains video and auditioning for Ozzy Osbourne. And he used the Yellow Tiger, which was his main Tiger. It's really orange, yellow. And that's the one a lot of you guys know. At one point in the 80s, he basically said, I want a Tiger that I could play world touring without worrying it getting stolen or beat up. I need a new Tiger. So he took the neck, the ESP neck, from his snakeskin gunslinger, a BC Rich gunslinger that you guys all recognize, that had a gray snakeskin tear across the front of it. And it had an ESP neck with a natural wood headstock and a rosewood board. And he basically said to ESP, I want a new Tiger that I'm going to play everywhere. I'm going to play it on the Monsters of Rock concerts. I'm going to play it in world tours. I'm going to play it in videos. I'm going to play it later on. He wound up playing it with Lynch Mob. So, ladies and gentlemen,
hang on.
Appreciate your patience.
Before you even show it, this guitar was the main touring guitar for the Monsters of Rock in 1988. For
Dokken. If you Google Dokken Monsters of Rock, you will see so many classic, very well-known photos of George playing this guitar, wearing patchwork pants and no shirt. This guitar is what's called a named guitar, meaning just like, you know, some people say George's Yellow Tiger, George's Skull and Bones guitar mom. This is also one of George's named guitars. You guys ready?
We're ready.
All right. Directly from George Lynch to me, ladies and gentlemen, on the Johnny Beane Show, George Lynch's original Purple Tiger.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's hard to capture in the light, the purpleness. Let's see if I could get a different angle of it so you can see the purple.
That's crazy.
There, right there, you can start to see it. Yeah.
Okay. This
Look at
is
those hot dogs.
a replica. There have been a billion replicas made of this guitar. This is the one George played, owned. I got it directly from George. If you look at the headstock,
Wow.
the certain wood grains you can match to all those photos. And again, this guitar came off another one of his guitars. He had a BC Rich Gunslinger with gray snakeskin that ESP made him put an ESP neck on. And he played that guitar a lot in concerts and whatnot. And this is that neck. He used it to make this guitar. And it's hard to tell from the lighting. This is all purple. And you can see George isn't very kind to his guitars. Beats the heck out of them.
Let's see the back of the headstock.
Yeah, you can definitely see the purple with certain.
and
angles.
You're wondering what this is.
That's proof positive because it's the Floyd Rose
Sustainiac.
nut. Well, the nut is also attached from the back, from the rear of the guitar. So that is proof positive of that because most ESP guitars for a long time have been top mounted Floyd Rose nuts. That's proof positive that it's one of George's because it's attached from the rear end.
George is attached to Don Dokken from the rear end.
But that's really cool.
Yeah, and this is part of a Sustainiac because George used those back in the 80s. And you can actually see on the guitar, now you can see the purple a little better when I get close to the light, but you could see the little screw holes where George had the Sustainiac pickup drilled in there. This is a push-pull knob.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's really cool.
Yeah, you can see over, let's see. I mean, obviously it's got, dents galore and whatnot, but so many of my friends had pinups of George playing this in, in their locker or something during high school.
Mm-hmm.
You could see again, just,
I remember seeing pictures of that guitar. Yeah.
beaten. George used to keep picks taped up here. Obviously, it's been ripped off a bunch of times. It's really hard to catch the purple. Let me see if I could get a light on it.
No, you can see it, or at least I can.
Yeah, I mean, if you look under the light, you'd see it's purple.
Mm-hmm.
And again, a lot of the later replicas that you see him holding in ads or whatever, they started in Japan making replicas of this guitar with a natural wood headstock like this one has, and then they painted it to match the body later on.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see George in ads holding a guitar like this with painted headstocks and things like that. But again, this was bought directly from Lynch. He originally offered to sell me a different guitar. When I first met him, and I said, I want something really, really, really recognizable of yours. And he said, well, which ones? And this was in my top 3. So,
wow.
So Jimmy Carr just bought a very similar. Yeah, he bought a very similar guitar to that today from our friend Scott Campbell. And if a guitar like that comes from Scott Campbell, it's a real deal as well. It's a very early George Lynch Purple Tiger with the natural headstock like that. So that's why I wanted Jimmy to watch the show, because that's the actual one that George played.
I actually had a buddy that this was his favorite Lynch guitar growing up, and he flew from London to take photos with it at my house. So I really hope you guys enjoy seeing this in person. This is literally one of the most recognizable guitars in the 80s. And George played it with Lynch Mob. You'll see it in Lynch Mob videos too. Really,
yeah. I'm stoked. I can't believe that you actually own. I can't believe that George sold that to you.
Yeah, neither could I. But again, this also came with it from George. Obviously wrote me a little personal note.
What do you write?
Wow.
Did it say bread and butter?
Yeah, he says, this was my bread and butter on most of the Dokken records and the first Lynch Mob record, plus many, many worldwide tours. Take care of my baby. Love, George Lynch.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's absolutely.
I have photos of him writing that, and he threw in some some Dokken picks with it.
Oh yeah, I need one of those.
Very, very cool.
Awesome. Real quick, I guess we'll keep going. We have 104 people, but my video premiere is starting right now. So if you guys want to watch both videos at once, and hopefully this is the right link.
Someone asked, by the way, what wood this is made of. It feels like maple because
It's maple. All his guitars are maple.
heavy as hell. And
All of
toned
George's
for
guitars
days.
are maple. Yeah, yeah, they're all maple.
Brett McCord asked, do some of the artists that I buy guitars from, because I do buy a lot from them directly, ask them to give them first dibs if I ever get rid of it? Not usually, but some of them have, and I always, as a courtesy, would offer it anyway. Not that I sell guitars. I mean, I play them and enjoy them, and I buy them literally for me, even though I like to share with you guys. But I would, of course, give dibs, to the artist first, unless I promised it to someone I'm close with, like, Dave Nesdall or, So.
Yes, and there are a couple of guitars of yours that I absolutely want that I would take from you. Oh, there's a lot of them, but a couple in general.
Blank Palette wants to know if I was naked when I went to buy it. Then he could see him selling it to me. I could see him clocking me over the head with it if I showed up naked. That's where all these loving dents came from. This one's from Don's head. This one was shoved between my legs.
I thought one of the horns was.
Yeah, no, that's what I used as a chair during a concert.
Wow, man, that's awesome, man. That
deserves it.
So please, guys, if you could share a thumbs up, we really appreciate that. I hope you guys enjoy seeing that. I got a couple Lynch guitars I'll bring on to the show later, but this one of my all-time favorites, personally.
Oh, do you have a Kamikaze?
I have a couple of them, none of George's, but there's a reason for that. I'll tell you at another show, but I have a couple of Kamikazes. I have one of the first ones made, and I have two of the green ones in various configurations.
Oh, Lord.
And a yeah, just those three actually. Kamikaze.
Yeah, green. Green.
Wow. Yeah, that's your favorite, huh?
Gotta come my way. Yeah, gotta come my way. Maybe I should get one of Scott's.
Scott is selling some really great Lynch model guitars.
Yeah.
That I guess you'll talk about when you have him on.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have him on when you're on. It's it just depends on when he's free.
Yeah, Scott's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a super duper amazing snakeskin one that I'll have tomorrow. Yeah. Also with a naked headstock on it.
Very cool. That's an early one.
Mm-hmm.
Love those. Yeah, and thank you guys for the thumbs up and the nice words in the chat. I really appreciate it. AI Gaming, it is heavy. I'm not sure of the weight. I got you a digital scale so I could weigh some of these for you guys. But yeah, it is heavy. Again, maple. Definitely not a small guitar. And please check out Johnny's premiere, linked in the chat right now.
It's going on right now as we speak.
It's going on right now. We got 15 people over there watching. It's almost over. Yeah, it was a quick video. It's like 5 minutes. But yeah, that's a video I did for Storm Rider. It was basically, if you're watching the video, it's almost over. He was asked, I don't know who they are. They were asking me why I'm always changing my pick around when I play the guitar. He noticed when I was playing, it keeps changing fingers. And so I decided to make a video and explain why I do that.
Nice.
So, well, I'll ask you guys. Do you guys notice when you play, are you ever do you hold your pick with different fingers?
I do. Yeah, absolutely. When I tap, I hold it between my middle and thumb, so I can tap with my pointing finger. I most of the time pick with my pointing finger and my thumb, but sometimes I go to the middle finger to get some harmonics. You can do, or I use my when I play normal between these two, I finger pick with the other three to get other strings. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to do it.
I sometimes find myself switching to the side of the pick. Like I use the fat end sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I do that. It's just
it's a rounder sound. It's not as trebly. It's just a rounder sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brian Stewart, you're back. Everybody's saying it was real quick. It was
Johnny's sex video.
It was a fast one. Mm-hmm. I thought we'd be done in here already, but no, we're still rolling. We got what, 80 people watching?
Mm-hmm. We got 89 5150s in here tonight, as Jay would say.
AI Gaming says, I use my wiener mostly for tapping because it frees up my hands. That's actually smart. Unfortunately, mine's so small, I confuse it with the E string. But that's just me.
The high E string.
Don't insult me, man. By the way, Jimmy Carr, shout out. Congratulations on your Purple Tiger replica. This is one I brought out for you tonight, so thumbs up for you, brother.
Wow.
Absolute Mayhem wants to know who's my guitar tech. I don't have a guitar tech because I don't tour, but I have a lot of luthiers working on my stuff. In New York, I have one guy. I have Neil Moser in Arizona, works on a lot of my BC Riches. He's one of the creators of a lot of the BC Rich bodies. I have a guy here in LA. Actually, I have two guys here in LA. If I mention them, you'll probably clog them with your guitars. So I'm not going to mention their names because I want them available to me. Yeah, John, it's a 4-week waiting list since you plugged us on the show. Yeah, but I have two guys in LA, one guy in New York, and Neil Moser in Arizona. So that's who works on my guitars if I need any luthier work.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
All right.
So what are we good? Is that our show? What do you think? Mm-hmm. How do I follow that? Between your sex tape and George Lynch's Purple Tiger.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I told, I keep telling you guys, you're not officially. You never say goodbye. You don't do it because that's when people start bouncing. They start leaving.
Yeah.
So, but what you want to do is you want to say watch another video, and a perfect video would be the premiere I just did.
Yeah, and I want to say, as usual, thank you so much, you guys. We love our viewers. You guys really, really rock. We love you big time.
Yeah. We love everyone, even the guys that heckle us.
And yes, Neil Moser is in Arizona right now. My personal favorite George Lynch solo, EVH asks, boy. Probably In My Dreams, because that's like my favorite Dawkins song.
What is that? That's this.
It's just like that.
I can't. I don't know.
Absolute
I'm just trying to remember it.
Absolute Mayhem wants to know, do I have any Lynch pedals? I don't. I have a bunch of his guitars, but no pedals. And George is a huge gearhead. If you look online, a lot of times George is selling his amps. So if you ever want to,
Really?
He's back to using vintage Marshalls and Park amps right now.
He's always loved vintage Marshalls. He loves Plexis. He loves, he's got like so much gear. He's like a huge gearhead. I have 4 amps out of all my guitars, and he has, he's a pro player. I'm a hobbyist,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A friend of mine introduced me to George Lynch some years back, and this particular friend of mine, actually, I think he was telling me he was keeping some of George's guitars at his place at one time. At one time,
I keep a lot of my guitars at certain people's places, so I could see George doing it.
Yeah, he's got to have a ton of guitars. I mean, I know when you see videos of him in Arizona in the desert, in his place.
Sure.
He only has a few of them there. He's got tons more than that he shows off.
He's got more amps.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, just out the wazoo.
Yeah.
So yeah, but if you look on like on Facebook, some of the George Lynch, groups like the Lynch fan page and stuff like that. I mean, you'll see like his guitar tech Jerry, posts like when George sells an amp or two, and he's always selling something. So not so much guitars, but definitely amps.
Mm-hmm.
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 Nightbot just said Johnny Beane t-shirts, stickers, coffee mugs, fleshlights, and coming soon, that Johnny Beane sound machine. Yeah. Wow.
Real quick.
Love that. Just love that.
John BL, we got to make them, man. I know it is possible.
I want one. I very badly want one.
We got to at least make one and give it away.
I want one too.
Okay, we got to make 2.
For cast and one for a raffle or something.
Okay, then we got to make like 20. John BL, we can figure it out. We can figure it out. Wow. Yeah. Thumbs up, everybody.
Yeah, we appreciate thumbs up. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you checking out Johnny's world premiere video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's already up to 50 views.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's just 5 minutes, you guys. So make sure you check it out. Here it is. And again, thank you to Storm Rider for the question. That's what I used to do years ago. Before, I started doing all this live stuff, was I would take questions and I would just make like standalone videos about that question. And now everything's live. Now it's all, we'll do it, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. Oh my gosh.
Brian Long, I can actually tell EVH stories for a while. I have a bunch. All good stories. I don't have any bad stories with EVH. I know a lot of people say that they've had bad experiences with him. I have had nothing but great experience with that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I met him, he was amazing. I mean, I couldn't believe it. It was like, oh my gosh, it's him. But at the same time, he's just a regular dude.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't starstruck or nervous at all when I met him. And then it wasn't until like the next day or a few days later, I'm sitting at a stoplight about to make a left turn, and it hit me. I'm like, I met, the guy, the reason I played the guitar. I met the dude. And it was then I was shaken,
Mm-hmm.
No, but yeah, he's awesome. He's an awesome dude.
Brian Stewart says this chat deserves more thumbs up for that Lynch guitar alone. Come on, people. I agree.
It does.
I agree. We appreciate thumbs up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys.
Everybody, break into your trolling accounts that you usually troll us with, and leave some thumbs.
We're on Thumbathon, Thumb Up-a-thon. Oh, AI Gaming says, who's that comedian that lived in the 5150 studio for a while? He has some great stories. I remember that story. Who was that?
Yeah, that was I want to say is it Craig Gass?
Gas.
Was that his name?
Got gas?
I heard that story years ago because a friend of mine that actually worked at a comedy club is friends with him. Actually, she's friends with everybody. She's friends with George Lopez, you know, all these guys. And she actually, Craig Gass, there it is.
Craig Gas.
R2, thank you. Yeah, she actually told me that story years before it was on the internet. You know?
She knows everybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She knows everybody.
Practicing for later.
How do you think I got Lynch's guitars? I got to do what I got to do, man.
Wow.
Wow. 77 watching. Make sure
77 thumbs up.
Make sure I see 78, but make sure you all leave a thumbs up before you leave to go watch my other video, which is right there. You know?
Yeah.
Keep watching the videos, stay on the channel. Don't leave. If you get sick of us, sitting here, go watch another video on the channel.
Yeah, my mother tunes out on Tuesdays. Seriously. I mean, she has enough of my bullshit. You guys must also. Same thing. I mean, I do nothing for this show but bring down the quality of it. So, but there are others with just Dave and Johnny and Jay that are of a much higher quality that you should check out on Johnny's channel.
Well, I got to tell you, tonight's was really, it's hard to top tonight's show. Tonight's show was really good for one without a guest.
Until next week. Until next week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And without Jay.
Yeah.
Jay, are you watching?
And we love Jay. Jay brings a lot to this show, but tonight was a very good show. I enjoyed it.
We love Jay.
And just to remind everyone, please tune in on Friday where we'll have Cameron Brown as our guest.
That's this Friday?
Yeah,
okay.
That's this Friday.
Okay.
Cameron Brown.
I'm glad you told me. Okay.
And thank you guys in the chat for the kind words. We really appreciate that.
Yes.
And
Jay said he just got here.
Jay!
You missed a great show, Jay. Tonight was a really good one.
Jay, leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Johnny, Jay's gonna want one of those Johnny Beane sound effects too.
Yeah, we're gonna have to John BL. We're gonna have to make those, and it can be done.
I really want one, man. You have no idea.
I want one too.
Divine Nine asks, any thoughts on PRS? Personally, I think PRS guitars they're good guitars. They're all good guitars. The private stock guitars are amazing. They are so amazing that once you play one, you don't want to play one of their regular stock guitars. That's how good the private stock stuff is. But the regular, off the rack ones, they're good. They're very good. Not my personal favorite. Their private stock guitars are just killer.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about PRS before, pretty maple tops, but I can't bond with them personally. I mean, I can't do it. Something about them. They're cool looking. They are good quality, like Dave says, especially the private stock. But personally, I just can't get into them. They I can't bond with them. I never have been able to. I've tried.
I think for me is they look too nice, you know. And I like to rock out and destroy my stuff, and I'd be scared to scratch a Paul Reed guitar.
Brent McCord wants to know what the metal plate on the back of the headstock of Lynch's Purple Tiger is. It's a Sustainiac. It's part of a Sustainiac system. So we talked about it earlier. Watch the Wii one. The Wii one. Watch the Wii one, Wabbit. Holy cow. We're talking about winch. What winch? And no, Jay, you cannot take off. We need you.
Yeah, we were just all sitting here just looking at each other for the last
I know, we're like, shit, what do we do? We're without Jay, we're pulling out guitars. It's like we have no conversation.
Mad Dog is so intelligent that he can't even make fun of me correctly. It's Rob Reiner, not Carl Reiner, you moron.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is Rob Reiner.
Nice. Hey there. Romeo Delight wants to know, do I have any Kiss guitars? I do have something of Bruce Kulick's that I'll bring on the show one day. Yeah. I'd love to say I have an Ace Frehley Les Paul, but I do not. I wish I did.
Oh, man. That'd be cool. You want to see that? Brian Stewart? Okay. All right. Real quick. There's Howie.
Howie. All
right. This is my Steinberger Spirit with the select EMGs, Nesdall's favorites. And yeah, it's a cool guitar. I posted a picture on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter the other day of me playing this guitar back in 2004. You know? Yeah, it's awesome.
I like EMGs.
Mm-hmm. Do a lot of your guitars? Do you have a lot of guitars with these actual pickups in them?
Not those specific ones. I usually have, what is it, the 81-85 combo?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the active ones.
Yeah.
These are passive.
Okay.
There's no battery. There's no battery in these.
I've never tried passive EMGs. Passive pickups. I like let's see. I like the DiMarzio Super Distortion and the Super 2. I like the Duncan JB, Duncan Distortion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are like favorites of mine. I love the X2N, the old X2Ns.
Yeah.
Those are crunchy and delicious.
Tell us how you really feel about those pickups, Jay.
I thought these sounded great in my 5150 PD.
Jay says you thought wrong.
Yeah, it's a Squire Strat would sound great in that 5150 amp.
It's a great amp. And like I've always said, you know, a lot of it has to do with the amp.
The tone is in the fingers. That's why my tone sucks.
Oh. That's why your tone's up your nose?
Yeah. That's why half my picks wind up my nose. Does anyone else besides me like the DiMarzio Distortion 2s? I'm sorry, the Super Distortion 2s, the Super 2s.
I like them. No, I like those.
I only got introduced to those like a couple of months back, and now I'm crazy about them. I think they're so cool.
The Super 3 is even better, and that's the one that Phil Cullen uses in his guitar from Def Leppard.
What is it? Is it just like, I mean, the Super 2 is like a Super Distortion, but less muddy.
Yeah.
What's the Super 3 like?
I don't know. It's actually crystal clear. It's a loud pickup, but it's crystal clear. I mean, when you strum a G chord and you hear every single note in that chord, it's just a great sounding pickup.
So is it just sharper, cleaner?
I think it's cleaner, yeah.
Okay.
Clearer. Not necessarily cleaner, but clearer.
Okay. All right. I got to try one now.
Yeah. Evo 8, yeah. Evo 8, yeah. Evo. I'm just going to call you Evo. How about that? Air Nortons are the best. They are amazing, but it's only a neck pickup as far as I know. But they are one of the best sounding neck pickups I've ever heard. You're right.
Brian Stewart says, I don't feel bad owning expensive guitars I can't play now because John has me way beat. Every guitar needs to get played. Every guitar needs to get played. Unless it's literally falling apart, every guitar needs to get played. There's no reason to have one otherwise. Divine Nine wants to know what you guys think of Lindy Fralin pickups.
Awesome. I have them in a Strat. They're great. All his pickups are great.
I never played one. I'd like to. We don't do Irish goodbyes on here, by the way.
Oh, we do.
No, we don't. Where'd Johnny go?
He said the Irish goodbye.
Johnny just left his own show. Yeah. See, that's why we need that Johnny Beane sound effects thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tone Zone's also a great pickup, Krellbar. Great pickup.
Yeah, I like the Tone Zone.
I think the best combination is the Tone Zone and the bridge and the Air Norton and the neck. If you're going to go with DiMarzio's.
And now Johnny's back. I like Bill Lawrence, old Bill Lawrence pickups too. Those are good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Man, that keeps reminding me of that Seinfeld where George had the little key. Remember the little key ring, and it had the guy, and you'd press it, and he would talk. Do you remember that one? And he lost it. He lost it down a hole in the street, a pothole, and the city covered it up. And every time cars drove over it, it would make the sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw something. Hold on. Evo 8. Yeah. Question for the host: what is your most prized guitar in your collection? That's like asking to choose between your kids. And I don't have kids, but I have guitars.
Mm-hmm.
I can't narrow it down. I mean, I have a lot of favorites I could rattle off, but like most prized? I mean, do you mean most valuable or? I don't know, man. Dave, don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep.
I'm not sleeping.
What's going on now?
No, if I was asleep, I'd be like this. But no.
Wait, do that again?
Do that again, Dave. Oh, I want to pitch guitar picks in there
Good. Now I've got a thumbnail.
for prizes. That's like the teabag position from prison. You want to be the most popular guy in the cell block? That's the move. Just do what Dave did. Lean back in your chair. Ah.
How about that one, Johnny? Use that as a.
Gosh. I can use both.
How about the one with him sticking his finger all the way up his nose?
That's a good
Jeez.
one.
That's another choice. Another fine.
How about I jam Lynch's guitar neck up my ass and we see if I can reach the 12th fret? That would be a thumbnail.
Oh my Gosh,
My God.
that'd be a video. Actually, since we're still on,
Oh. As far as my most prized guitar, I won't talk about it on
public access.
right on social media. I won't talk about that guitar, but I do have one. I do have one that's my most prized possession, and just won't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave left it to me in as well. Because I love that guitar too.
Everyone that comes here to play it loves it.
It's awesome. It's great. But let's not talk about it.
No.
Yeah.
We can talk around it, but not about
You
it.
talk around it. I don't know, man. I mean, there's guitars that are sentimental. It's like, I like, I got a guitar for Valentine's Day that's sentimental. I got one that's I like guitars on holidays, landmarking them. So it's like I have a lot of sentimental guitars, and then I have certain rock star guitars that are favorites, and then they're just ones I reach for that are players. The Red Burst Charvel I showed earlier in the show is like one of my favorite Charvels just because I reach for it so much. It's just a great playing sounding guitar,
Mm-hmm.
But like to choose a favorite, I can't do it.
James Gum asks if anyone has tried a Pariah Pasadena black pickup yet, or in here. I actually own one. It's going in my my next build, which should be done. The paint should be done on it this week, and I will be building it by the end of the week, hopefully. But yeah, it's a Pasadena black in this crazy, dirty off-white bobbins that Sean Christopher made for me. It should be amazing.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, it
Looks
looks
very
amazing.
cool.
I'm sure it's going to sound amazing.
Dying to hear the tone on that because I've heard really good things from you, from Nerd Halen. A couple of guys play those in their Halen guitars. Does Rob have one?
No, but I think Rob is getting a red Phenolic pickup for it's a dummy pickup for his Frankenstein through Sean Christopher. I think that's happening. I don't know that it's going to actually be hooked up. Probably not. It's going in his Frankenstein. So,
And those are like really good brown sound pickups, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm dying to hear one.
James, I will let you know as soon as I plug it in. I'll let everyone know how it sounds. Believe me.
Brian Stewart says, I got a guitar that my wife doesn't know about. Does that make it sentimental? You bet, brother.
Brian Stewart wants to know the brand of my favorite guitar without disclosing too much of the secret information. Okay, Gibson.
That's interesting. I'm torn. I'm gonna say it's between BC Rich and Charvel. Probably giving an edge to BC Rich for myself. Johnny?
My favorite guitar?
Brand.
Was that it? Oh, favorite brand?
Yeah.
Fender.
Well, I think what that question was your prized possession guitar, and I think that was what he just wanted to know the name brand of my prized possession guitar that I won't talk about.
Oh, okay.
But as far as my favorite brand,
that's why I thought he asked.
No, my favorite brand of all time, I would probably say it's a toss-up between Kramer and Fender.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, Fender.
Yeah, I like
Fender all the way.
I like Daisy Rock because they're pink and glittery. No,
you like Daisy Rock because it matches your disposition.
And then it's funny though. I mean, I'm talking about vintage guitars because most of the guitars that I play are like 80s made guitars. But like, if you take that pink bullseye Charvel from NAMM I got, that thing's incredible. I mean, the Charvel custom shop makes incredible guitars, you know, currently. And BC Rich is under new ownership, so the custom shop is great there now, but I'm curious. I don't know how the production is yet. Jury's still out, but I'm hopeful, so we'll see. Cross fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Divine Nine asks, what about Ernie Ball Music Man? I currently own 2 Music Man guitars, which I'm in love with. I have a third one coming.
Ew.
They're great guitars.
Oh.
Great guitars.
I don't have any of those. I don't have any Ernie Ball. Although I have to say, I use their strings constantly. I love Ernie Ball's Slinky 9s.
Mm-hmm. They're
So
great strings, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't have any Ernie Ball guitars.
I'm going to have to split in a minute. As soon as Johnny comes back, I'm going to have to split.
Okay, real quick. Brent
Early.
McCord's asking about the action on this Tiger. So I'm just going to give a little, well, see if you can see it. Tell me when I have it right, Dave.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah, that's low action, all right.
Yeah, it's very low. And he wanted a better look at the frets. There you go.
Yeah, those are big frets on there.
So that's what Georgie plays. Hey, Tessie Switch. Just
Hey,
in
Rob.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Just in time.
Just in time for us to leave.
If you guys need a kill switch or some accessories, go to Tessie Switch. I hate that I can't tell him.
How's it go? I forgot how to play it.
You can't hear me.
I don't remember how to play it. I don't remember the chords. Yeah, he played that song on that guitar many a night.
Yes, he did. I love that song. I love old Dokken. Tessie, just watch the rerun. We all brought out some really cool guitars tonight. This was a very show and tell show because without Jay, what do we
had
got
nothing.
to do?
Yeah, we had nothing without Jay.
Jay just got a raise.
Oh, it's so funny.
AI Gaming says, I haven't lived until I play an Ernie Ball Super Sport. I will play any guitar that someone sends me. Thank you, Shauna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shauna. That's very nice of you.
Yeah, Brett McCord, real low for fast shredding. George is one fuck of a player. No question there. Where'd Johnny go anyway?
I have no idea. Maybe he went to use the room.
Hey, I'm here. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, I had to take Howie out.
Oh, okay. So, what do you say? I can't.